So welcome back. We're heading out of San Francisco, heading to Hawaii on a 16-day cruise on the Ruby Princess. So welcome aboard. Let's go see what fun we can get into on this trip. Once aboard our Ruby Princess out of San Francisco, you get this princess patter, and you want to save this bottom portion because it gives you the itinerary and things like time changes and stuff that happen on your entire cruise. So you want to hang on to that for the duration of the cruise. Got our mini bar set, and then headed down to deck 6 where we have our hospitality desk for our guests sailing with us on this cruise. Once we set sail, we had a beautiful evening to enjoy. The next morning, we decided to get up early and wander around. It was an Easter cruise, and they had it decorated for Easter. While it was quiet in the morning, we thought we would get some pictures of the Ruby, the photo department there, and various things throughout the ship. The lounge in the back, the Crown Grill, Explorer's Lounge. It was quiet in the morning, so we thought we'd get the pictures with fewer people in them. Of course, the wheelhouse bar, some entrance to the theater there, and the excursion desk. These are all on deck 7, basically. The salty dog that's in the wheelhouse, as well as some of the shops throughout the Ruby Princess. We're on the Ruby quite often, so we're very familiar with it. But we thought we'd include a bunch of pictures here so you could see what the Ruby's like if you've never been on the ship. This is the casino, very popular area. And then we thought we'd go out on the deck and then come back in, have a cocktail before dinner. And during dinner, we like to have our bottle of Camus with us. We like to go to the Crooner's Lounge later, enjoy some martinis, various martinis. We had some beautiful sunsets at our days at sea on the way to Hawaii. There's some flower cart if you want flowers delivered to your cabin. Adagio's bar is up by Sabatini's. Now, our guests on board are treated to a buffet that we have just for our group on board that travels with us. And this is, as you can see, one of the examples of the buffet that we have during our trip. The next morning, we're treated to another beautiful day at sea on the way to Hawaii. And down in the piazza, they did a martini pouring demonstration. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get real close, but I was able to video most of this. It's a fun little demonstration where they have multiple cocktail shakers with different beverages in each one, and then they pour them from a high spot. Everybody was thrilled to watch this. I know some cruise lines have bigger demonstrations, but this was a lot of fun for the guests on board. That evening, once again, we were treated to a beautiful sunset. So we headed over to the Wheelhouse Bar where they had sign-ups for a whiskey tasting event. Then we had a few cocktails, of course, to enjoy, and then call it an evening. The next morning, we arrived into Maui. We port at Kahului, and it was kind of an overcast day. It had a little showers throughout the day, but we decided to get off, go see what we could see. Not a lot to see there in Kahului. You have to walk through the port, and when you arrive, you're street side at really just a shopping area. You walk through this narrow fenced corridor. So we did that, headed back to the Ruby to get back on board, and of course enjoy some beverages when we got back on board again. Our dining's in the Michelangelo dining room, another beautiful evening, and then we arrived into Honolulu. Now, when we arrived, the ship spins 360 degrees around and kind of backs into the pier there. So we had a view on our side of this little park that's across the port area. So the city is actually behind us at this point. But this is the port view in Honolulu. We disembarked and headed to the International Marketplace. This is an indoor-outdoor shopping area. Very nice location to hang out. And then we went across the street to the Honolulu Cookie Company, grabbed some things there, and then, of course, had to head to Duke's for, of course, some Mai Tais. Nothing would be complete without some tacos and wings and another Mai Tai before heading back to the Ruby to get back on board again. So once on board, we enjoyed another beautiful evening at sea. And the next morning we were scheduled to arrive at Kona. Unfortunately, due to the weather and rough seas due to the wind, we were unable to port in Kona. So we headed to our final port, which was Hilo. Once arriving in Hilo, we docked and disembarked, headed down the street to a local little street fair that was going on. There was a fun little time to walk around there, see some local artist wares that they were selling at this little flea market. But then we proceeded down to downtown Hilo, and they were having a festival that they have every year around Easter. It's a parade and festival. Thousands and thousands of people downtown to see this parade. So we walked around there, saw the parade sites a little bit, enjoyed the different floats and bands and whatnot that you're usually in a parade. And then we headed from there on down to the Hidden Nene, which is a little speakeasy that we like to go to. They have craft cocktails at this location, full selection of nice different whiskeys and bar selection. They also have some wonderful food selections, so we had to get some lunch and some cocktails. This one was called the Smoky Bear. They serve it with the rosemary smoking, of course, a paper plane, and then a black Manhattan to round things off. Then we headed back to the ship. We did have to have a quite lengthy walk back as the parade had ended and it was difficult to get an Uber back. But once back, we re-entered the ship and enjoyed a nice, quiet, beautiful evening, setting sail back towards the mainland and heading towards Ensenada. We had 4 beautiful days at sea to enjoy before arriving there. We did have, again, another wonderful dinner with our Camus wine, and were greeted with a beautiful sunrise as we approached Ensenada. Off the starboard side, we had a school of dolphins that greeted us as we entered into the port area. It was quite a large school of dolphins. And then once we got closer to Ensenada, we docked there at the port, got off for just a brief minute or two to go down the port pier area. The dock there has changed over the years. It's very clean. Some vendors are close by, so if you don't want to go all the way into town, there's plenty to do just dockside in the marina area. Having been in Ensenada many times, we like to just get off the ship and wander the marina and dock area, get some exercise, get some fresh air before heading back to the ship and getting back on board the Ruby Princess, get ready to head back to San Francisco. So as we set sail, beautiful evening, grab some cocktails, of course, to enjoy the evening. One last evening on the balcony to enjoy a warm night, sailing back to San Francisco. So once we arrived back in San Francisco, beautiful morning again. We hope you have enjoyed this little snippet of our trip to Hawaii, from San Francisco back to San Francisco. Until next time, see you then.
Cruising for a boozing, we're shaking up fun. From the Tiki bar to the pool deck, we're second to none.